Joining me now is Georgia Congressman Doug Collins. Congressman, I know you've been listening in on a show tonight. It's easy to see why so many Georgians are still wary about the integrity of the upcoming runoff. So you heard Governor Kemp with some constructive proposals here. How do you solve this?
Well, I think how we solve it is, number one, and Laura, it's good to have you back in Georgia. I wish I could be there with you, is we've got to have everybody turn out. And I'm going to make it just real clear. Every Trump voter and everyone who favors what has been happening for the last 4 years for our better economy, our stronger military, our better world presence, then they need to get back out and vote for David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler. There's no chance here, no saying of I'm not going to vote or do anything else. And also, let me just go to this one thing. I think the governor hit it right. I'm proud the governor's asking for the signature recount, signature verification. We've asked for that as well. But there's also one thing, and you mentioned Stacey Abrams. I'm not scared of Stacey Abrams. In fact, I'm tired of Stacey Abrams. I'm tired of her trashing the state, saying we've had voter suppression that she did after she lost the governor's race. And the fact of the matter is, Laura, let's deal with facts. Since 2014, voter turnout among minority populations in Georgia have actually increased. So I'm tired of the liberal argument talking about my state, which is actually improving as we go forward. So we need every Republican to turn out and show that the David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler are the firewall that we need in the United States Senate so we don't go backwards under a Chuck Schumer.
Now, Congressman, we learned this week that Georgia is reporting that more than 940,000 absentee ballots have been requested for the Senate runoffs. Isn't this exactly what Abrams and these shady organizations were hoping for, and that it opens the can of worms with the mail-in voting again?
It does, Laura, and I think that's what the governor was talking about, and I'm glad to hear him say that because it's a concern, and I think the Secretary of State does need to step up and discuss a consent decree that David Perdue mentioned earlier that we feel like many of us who look at this feel like actually weaken the standards for actually our signature verification, and which some counties don't do it the way that other counties do it. And I know, like in my home county, they go back to the actual register file, but others they didn't, and it's got it where it can only do one signature, any signature that is on file. This needs to be investigated. And the issue that how we do this, I'm hopeful for people who are concerned about the January 5th election. We have been shining the light, and I think light is the best disinfectant. I think the Secretary of State's office is on notice. I think the county election boards are on notice that they need to step up and do it better. Remember, when we asked for a hand recount, we found almost 10,000 votes that were never counted. Think about that, Laura. Never counted. 3,000 of them went to President Trump and lowered the lead that Biden had built. These are the kind of things now that heightened scrutiny will also give people the assurance that they go and vote, that these elections will be held. And there are things that still need to be fixed, but we've got to work on making sure that this election, January 5th, Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue are elected and put back in the United States Senate.
All right, Congressman, I want to go to the audience again for a question from David Tootle. David.
Hey, Congressman Collins, given all the craziness that's happened in our state in November, what would you say to Georgians who feel deflated and disappointed considering not showing up to vote in January for the runoff?
Well, David, thanks for the question. I'm going to take a light moment today. There's probably nobody more deflated that could be because I've worked for 9 months in that Senate race. But you know what? Kelly Loeffler won, and now it's time for Kelly Loeffler to be elected to the United States Senate. I would say to everybody who's been fighting for the last few years like I have and with Laura and others, fighting for this country for Donald Trump, fighting for the tax cuts, fighting for our stronger military, fighting for those things, we cannot allow our momentary disappointment of what we're seeing in an election that we will fix and can fix to keep us from going to the polls. David and Kelly need us at this point. And as I said earlier when I started this, Donald Trump needs us. This is the vision that he had for us. And for anybody, a Trump voter, a conservative in Georgia, not to go back to the polls is really taking that and just basically thumbing their nose at what we've accomplished over the last few years. That's how you overcome disappointment. You do it on the offense. You do it on getting out there and telling and convincing people why conservative values matter. And I believe firmly on January 5th, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler have to be put back in the United States Senate.
Yeah, Congressman, what happens to the America First movement if these two Senate seats go to hard left Democrats?
Oh, Laura.
What happens?
We go backwards. We don't go forward. I mean, you don't go forward to the
Right.
leftist agenda. I mean, give me a break. Any socialist out there who tells you we're going forward has not looked at history. Only conservative values who actually believe in people. Laura, remember, it is conservatives who believe in people. It is not the socialists. It's not the leftists. They believe in government. We believe in people, and we've got to encourage people that way.
Yeah, you believe in Georgia values, not New York and California values, or Berkeley or Harvard values, whatever we want to say. Congressman, thank you so much. What a team player. I know you wanted to be the Senate candidate in this race, but we really, really appreciate your being here tonight. Thank you very much, sir.
Laura, thank you. Take care.